Hey there, are you sick of mice in your home? Would you like to know which foods are the best to attract them so that you can catch more mice even quicker and rid your home of those pesky rodent invaders? Well, then you're in luck, because in this video I'm going to be sharing with you not only the #1 best bait to use, but also 7 professional level tricks to make sure that you cannot fail. Now, there are many foods that you can use that will work to attract and catch mice, because mice love high calorie, sweet, fatty foods. However, they're often capable of licking the bait without even triggering the trap, which is why I'm going to be sharing some of the best methods to make sure those crafty buggers don't run off with a free meal.
Okay, so here we have the most effective foods to catch mice. They're all winners. We usually go to cheese. That's kind of the mouse food that we see in the cartoons. And it can be quite effective, but I think that more effective than that is cream cheese. Fits well into the trap, easy, paste, high calories as well. Very good. Then we've got chocolate spread. Again, very high calories, sweet, mice love it, attractive to them, smells good. Peanut butter, classic. Again, guessing the theme, high calories, good stuff. Crunchy's my favorite. Reese's Pieces, deadly combination of chocolate and peanut butter. It's kind of a shame to waste it on them, but sacrifices must be made. And then we're moving on. Sunflower seeds. So these shells are on, but I actually prefer shells off just for the video. Oh, and then we've got raisins. Seems like the healthier option, but they work really well, deceptively well. Not to be underestimated. Then we've got jerky and bacon. Salty, meaty, fatty, high calories. It's a bit of a variety, but works really well. However, one of them is superior to the rest. Done, done, done. Drum roll, please. Have you guessed it? Which one? The #1 most reliable source, peanut butter. It just works well. Numero uno.
It's so simple, it's so cheap, you just get this store-bought version, that high calorie crappy stuff full of sugar and God knows what. That's the kind of stuff they go crazy for. It's like mouse crack. It's stood the test of time. Smooth works just as well, just doesn't taste as good. Let them have a nice last dinner. However, before you go running off, there is a problem with peanut butter that you want to hear. And the problem is that people hear peanut butter and they go and throw loads of the stuff onto the trap thinking if a little is good, then a lot is better. So the problem there is that mice simply come along, they lick the traps clean of the peanut butter or near enough, and then you've given them a free meal. You've got no mouse, and you've got less crunchy peanut butter. Nobody's happy, except the mouse. So, what's the solution? Well, I've got some tricks for you so that with a bit of creativity, you can catch more mice even quicker and avoid giving them a free meal. Here we go. Trick 1, the most basic but most overlooked, is only use a pea-sized amount of bait.
So mice have an incredible sense of smell. So you only need a tiny amount. In fact, even that is probably a bit too much. Let's go a bit less. There we go. Pea-sized amount. Perfect. They'll smell it from very far away. So the next trick is squishing Reese's Pieces or whatever, cupcakes, I don't know what these are called, Reese's something, into the trap. I recommend also making sure that it's not too melted. Here mine is a bit too melted, it's a bit messy, as you can see. However, they still work really well. You just need to push them down into the trap. Make sure they're squished in. You want the mouse to have to work to get it. You see there's some mess around there. You don't want that. So clean that up. Make sure there's nothing that they can get without having to go to the center. And make sure it's firmly pushed down. Everything's clean around it. Perfect. So the next trick is using the jerky and the bacon. A bit hard to see the jerky there. But here we've got the meat, salty, fatty. We want to use the peanut butter at the bottom of the trap as the glue, as they might be loose in the trap. We don't want the mouse yanking them out. And there's variety. Sometimes they don't go for your average bait. So using the meat is a nice combination with the peanut butter. It's something different. And sometimes it's good to split test your traps to see what they really like. Some mice, I know, they're a bit, we might say they're smart, but they're crafty. They have different tastes. And this is just another great way to try and catch them out. Get it deep in there, make sure it's not loose, and then that's a wrap. So this next trick might surprise you. It's very effective. Floss, or even string, or you can actually use straw. And the reason for these are for nesting materials. When it's cold outside, as often is in the UK or wherever you might be, the temperature goes down and mice are looking to nest in your home, no less. So we use peanut butter as our base. We make sure it's nice and deep in there, no mess around. And then we want to take our floss or string or straw, whatever, anything that kind of looks like it would make good nesting material, and we want to stick it in there. This is going to look very, very attractive to them, and we want to tantalize them by having it showing. So we're kind of having it looping in there, a nice loop showing out there, but we don't want it hanging out, so they have to commit to get that prize.
So, trick number 5, remember to wear gloves. For demonstration purposes, I haven't worn them until now in this video. Remember to wear them when handling or setting the trap to keep your scent off of it. Otherwise, you might scare the mice if they smell you on it. Be warned. Trick 6, change the bait every 5 to 7 days. This is because if you leave the food, it's going to go stale. It won't be nearly as attractive to the mice. They have a very strong sense of smell, so they're going to know if it's off. It does depend on how desperate they are. If they're hungry enough, then they probably, they're still going to go for it. However, if you have other food in your house, just crumbs on the floor even, they might opt for the crumbs or the bits and pieces lying around rather than your stale old food that you didn't bother to change in the trap. So make sure you change it.
Trick number 7 is using the sunflower seeds and the raisins, and specifically these raisins because they pack in very tightly, which means the mouse has to commit. You can break them in half to make sure they fit in there. One big mush of a ball, and the mouse really, really has to work hard to tug it out, and by then it's too late for Mr. Mouse. And the other option is using the sunflower seeds. I don't know why these work so well, but they do work incredibly, incredibly well. They don't work so well without the peanut butter, however, so we want to add a bit of that at the bottom just as the glue, otherwise they'll be way too loose. Remember again, just a pea-size amount, don't be overzealous. A little goes a long way with these small guys.
So, there you have it. Peanut butter works like a charm. So, in this demonstration, I've used our very own cat strike model, which is extremely effective at catching mice. Let me show you what makes them so special.
So apart from looking very cool and dangerous, it has a very functional design. So the pedal here is hypersensitive. That means anything coming into contact with it is going to set it off. The mouse has no chance. So the deep bait cup hole here as well, in between the pedal, is deep on purpose. Most traps are very shallow with their hole, which makes them very unpractical. With this design, it means that the mouse has to commit, look into the hole where you've stuffed the bait, and then the teeth come down. The teeth themselves are very sharp. They're designed for an instant humane kill. We don't want the mouse to suffer. The pedal at the top is designed to cover the mouse's head when it's dead so that you don't have to see it for your own comfort. The leftover raisin sends the mousetrap ballistic.
To get your own cat strike traps, just click on the link below. I hope this has been of help, and make sure you like and click subscribe on this video for more of the best tips and tricks to catch mice. Goodbye!